playoff game.
All right. So we're very excited for the Knicks.
I'm very excited for playing tonight.
And nobody's as excited as Chris Caldwell, so.
That's right, I'd like to get this done,
Even Caldwell.
especially exponentially.
Okay, so I'd like to ask, does everybody have a chance to review the agenda? Looks like that. Do we know this was to be changes to the agenda? Right, see, for discussion, I move to adopt the May 2026 agenda.
That's it.
Okay, so once again, we're now voting on the motion to adopt the May 2026 agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
I wasn't present, so I'm not first.
All right, so we've got 3 votes in favor, 1 abstention. And with that, the motion passes.
Yes.
All right.
Here comes somebody, I think.
Oh, that's Marquise.
Oh, you win that door. On the ground.
Right, for the record reflect, Mr. Well, Marquise Bell is just signed in. So, and quorum has now been established to the effect of 5 and 7 years. Marquise, we're just voting on the motion to adopt the May 2026 agenda. And actually, in the, this put up the May 2026 agenda, so that's the one for today. The minutes that are gonna follow would be for last month, so I'd like to extend that. So, I'll just go with the second, vote, make sure that everybody's seen what it's just that I've done.
Yep.
First of all, the question I asked was, with chance to review the May 26 agenda,
Yes,
any changes, please close.
for me.
Lovely, okay, so we'll complete our vote for second times in all of this room. So, seeing as there's no further discussion, I move to adopt the May 2026 agenda.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Andrea?
May 26th.
Sure, that's today's agenda.
Today's May 5th. You said 26th?
May 20 is in the year of. So it's May 6th.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've got 5 yeses, 0 abstentions, and 0 no's, and with that, the motion passes.
Is this the? I'm so sorry. Is this our last meeting for before?
No, that's today's agenda. That's the agenda right here.
We're not coming back June, no.
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
June
we are, yes, but the agenda isn't out for June yet. This is strictly and solely for today, May the 6th, 2026.
Oh, you mean by whatever is said? I'd
And
like to back that. Before I approve of what's going to be said today, you know, in case anybody gets lengthy, I'd like to review.
Sure, it's not today's, it's not what's being said. It's the agenda, is it what we have?
Oh, as going forward, I'm so sorry, go ahead.
No problem.
My bad.
So is your vote still a yes?
Yes,
All right. So with that, we've got 5 out of 5 votes. The quorum motion passes. Next up, and this is perhaps where you may wish to abstain, since you did it last week. But wanted to ask if we had a chance to review April 2026 minutes.
Yep.
So maybe we're still, I was confused.
Fine.
what is it, I don't know.
That's his April 2026 minutes.
So the notes from last month.
The notes from last. Right there.
Okay,
Just so we could formally adopt them.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
Don't wait for the answer, whatever you say. I'm with it, go ahead.
Okay.
You want a motion or a vote?
I move to adopt the April 2026
All in favor?
minutes.
All in favor?
You know.
Well, I need to second first, and then
Thank you. Yeah.
second, all right, great. With that, I need to repeat it first, and then we can go all in favor, because that's how the procedure works.
I know Robert Fruit go.
So once again, we are now voting on the motion to adopt the April 2026 minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
We got 4, abstaining,
Abstain because I wasn't here.
got it. So with the record reflect, reflected in re-abstains. Any no's, so no, 0 in opposition. And with that, the motion passes. And both the May 2026 agenda, as well as the 2026 minutes,
66,
were hit by
90. 1 hour. And 120.
So, we do not have any presentations.
Oh, thank God.
today, which gives us a little more time to discuss the LPC permits applications that were sent to us. But before we do that, we're gonna start with parks announcements and updates. So it's Shannon Richards from Volunteer Community Lead. Shannon?
Hey Shannon, you've been on all this time.
About that,
Oh,
just the mute button.
we can't hear you well, Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having difficulty with my setup. But if there was a question to me, my apologies, I missed it.
Oh, no, we were just giving you the floor to make the announcements.
Oh, thank you. I'm not fully spun up on the new routine. That's wonderful. Any new announcements?
No, just because we don't have any presentations today, that's why we skipped that part.
Fair enough. I will have a flyer into the office probably sometime in the next week or two. Dog Run 142 will be conducting our spring meet and greet the last weekend of May. Saturday is our event date. Sunday is our rain date. We're still working our theme and our agenda. It's still a bit early in the month, but I will have information to the community board as soon as we finalize that event. But it's our intention to invite either invite somebody from the Conservancy to speak, possibly somebody from the 30th Precinct to speak, possibly someone from Animal Care Centers of New York City to join us again as they did in the fall. That's the conclusion of my announcements. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shane. Next up, we've got Leslie Wright from Twin Barrel Riverbank State Park.
Hi there. Thank you very much for having me. And I'm happy to share with you all that the first Saturday in May is I Love My Park Day for state parks all across the state. This past Saturday was I Love My Park Day. We had about 50 volunteers show up at Denny Farrell Riverbank, and boy, did they get a lot done. The park is in full swing with programming. You can learn to roller skate. We've got senior socials. We've got youth programmings. All the flyers are on the website. The carousel is open. What I really wanted to take a tiny minute to alert you all to mark your calendars on July 4th this year. Not only will the park host a big family, friends, community day with fun activities inside, outside, all day throughout the park, swimming, skating, games and skills, and you name it, plus lots of music, concerts throughout the day. Riverbank will also be a great viewing site for the tall ships that will be sailing up the Hudson River in commemoration of the country's 250th anniversary. So the day will run from first thing in the morning till late at night. There'll be a big screen set up to view the fireworks too. That'll be on the East River this year. Just know that you can go to Riverbank on the 4th of July, spend the entire day, not spend any money, and have a great time. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic.
I have a question. Quick question.
Sure.
Leslie, hi,
Hi.
Jack Gold, listen, is it possible that you could shoot a price list for the Denny Farrell Athletic Building over to you to share with us? Because I'd like to know, like, say somewhere between the third week of this month, there's a picnic that's going on in the Denny Farrell Park there. And I need to know the price list for the athletic building. I want to use the swimming pool because that's Olympic style workout, and that's what I want. So could you forward that?
What do you mean a price list?
For instance, if I want to use the workout room facilities where
Yeah.
the notices are, how much is it going to cost annually? How much
I
is
see.
I pay monthly? I need.
So the good news is it's all on the website. Just go to the park's webpage, Denny Farrell. If you Google Denny Farrell Riverbank State Park. It'll all pop up. You just scroll down, all that information is there for each facility. It's all current.
Itemized pricing,
Pardon?
itemized pricing.
Yeah,
But
just scroll down. It's a ton of information.
great, I thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Well, all right, so next up, we've got Valerie Crate from the Greenhouse and Learning Gardens. Valerie? Um, so, Hallie from the National Park Service. Hallie? Hallie Kaminsky.
Right.
All right. Ashley from New York City Parks, read them. Ashley? No, okay, right, John from Riverside Park and West Harlem, Pierce Park. John,
Hey, John isn't in today. I'm the manager for Riverside. I can take over.
great, please do. Floor is yours.
Um, we don't have much going on. I saw on the agenda that there was a question about the 145th Street, like below 145th Street signage. I was curious, is that for dog off leash signage that was for?
What is this?
I believe, so it came up at the meeting last month, I believe it was for dogs on leash, but I think there was also like public urination happening too.
Hmm.
But the sentiment from last month was that there seems to be less signage in general about these things below 145th Street.
We can get signage up for dogs off leash below 145th Street, like around the dog run area and everything down there. Um, as far as news for Riverside Park, I don't have too much to report. We've been working on grass cutting, seeding, the regular spring stuff right now. Um, but yeah, I don't have too much to report on that. But yeah, I could get up that signage for you guys. Was there anything other than off leash dog signage that was needed over there?
Could I contribute to the signage regarding the off-leash dogs? I have some information on it.
All right.
Danny, we can't hear you.
Really quick, I can send to Gary and I can send to the community board, the conversation around dogs off leash and signage in the North Park.
Oh,
There are examples of signs below 129th Street, all the way down to 72nd Street that show that identify where the dog runs are located, but also identify areas where dogs are permitted off leash prior to 9 a.m. and after 9 p.m. and where they're not, even though they're generally in the park. One of the criticisms that we've heard at Dog Run 142 is that there is no comparable signage for the North Park. The North Park ergo that runs from 145th Street along the Hudson all the way up to 181. So I have a sample of that signage somewhere on my phone. Happy to put an email to show you what we're referring to. And I suspect that there's some community members that are interested in having similar signage put in the North Park, maybe around 151st Street, where the bridge comes over, to sort of identify where and where not dogs are permitted off leash in the North Park, and comparable messaging to what takes place in the lower portion of Riverside.
Great.
All right. Yeah, we definitely work with you guys and put up whatever signage is needed. You have my email, I think, but I'll put it in the chat just in case. And you can send that over to me anytime.
Happy to. Quick question for the board: do you folks have a specific email, or should I just send it to the general the general email address for Community Board 9?
You can send it to Yutha and CC both, myself and Christina.
And your emails are in the chat as well?
Yes, she's entering it right now. Yeah.
Fantastic. You'll have it shortly.
Thank you very much.
And Gary, will you be doing the announcements for Riverside Park in general, or should we keep John's name here?
Yeah, I'll usually be in the meetings. John will be in occasionally too, but I'll usually be in the meetings.
Gotcha, so we'll update to your name. for these events is our agenda.
And pardon me for having you down as Gary Rock, but.
Yeah.
I'll get that up. All right, thank you, Gary.
No problem.
Next up, we've got Stephanie from Riverside Park Conservancy. Stephanie? All right, Karen from Friends of St. Nicholas Park. Karen? Clyde from Friends of Morningside Park. Tapashi from New York City Parks.
Come on, Tabashi.
I saw the name.
Come on, Tabashi.
Yep, I'm here. Just
Hi.
hello. Hi, Patricia. Okay, we have quite a few announcements or follow-up really. So spring is in full swing. If you attended the Jackie Robinson Day Festival on April 18th, we have a survey looking for feedback on that event. I can paste this information in the chat. On what was that, May 2nd, this past Saturday, Harlem Sculpture Garden had their opening day at Jackie Robinson, but also we have art pieces in Morningside and St. Nicholas Parks. So definitely take a trip out and see many of those pieces that have been installed. They're very beautiful. And if you want more information on the artists or location, you can visit the harlemsculpturegardens.com. See what else we have here. Also in April, we had Harlem Stories Project, which is actually closer to in the KIPP School, located at 133rd between 12th Avenue and I think Broadway. They they visited Marcus Garvey Park, and they're a group of middle schoolers who took oral history presentations from regular park patrons, and the final performance was an original theater performance created from those stories. So it's an interesting nonprofit group that works with KIPP called the Harlem Stories Project. And they had their final event on April 18th. For Morningside, we have March to November, second Saturdays and Friday morning volunteer cleanups with the Friends of Morningside Park. That has already started, so feel free to visit the Friends website to see information on that. And on Saturday, May 16th, we're going to have a tree count at Morningside Park with the Urban Park Rangers. This will take place from 1 to 3 p.m. at Manhattan Avenue and West 110th Street. So this is the tree count continuation from 2025. Every 10 years, the Parks Department takes an inventory of all of our trees to kind of assess their condition and helps us map out a plan for the future of how to plant trees, how and where to plant trees in our parks, as well as street trees. This year they're doing like street trees a little bit differently. The street trees I think they're being mapped with a vehicle, like a car does. We're also for St. Nicholas Park at 141st Street. We've reopened that lawn. We're gonna close it seasonally to allow it to rest, and then reopen it in the spring and summer months, and they'll close it back in November. So everything looks very beautiful. It's green right now. Had some good rainy days, so our lawns are nice and green. And then lastly, we still have some positions available at parks. You can visit NYC Parks jobs to see what we have available. And if you know young people in college looking for a summer internship, we still have some of those open and available as well. And that is it for me.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions? All right. Next up, we've got Matt from NYC Parks, the NYC Parks Center Regional Director. Matt, you know it.
Hey, good evening, everyone. So some other events to let you guys know about. We have movies Under the Stars coming up in our parks across the district and in neighboring parks. And I will make sure the board has dates on these as I'm waiting for some flyers to send out to the community board. But this Friday in on May 8th, at nearby Bloomingdale Playground, which is at 104th and Amsterdam. They're going to be showing Inside Out. I know that's in Community Board 2, but it's very close to the edge of our district. So I figured I'd share it. And then coming up on May 27th at Jacob Schiff Playground, they're going to be showing Zootopia 2. And then on Thursday, June 18th, on the ball field at Morningside Park, they'll be showing Harriet. And then in St. Nicholas Park on June 20th, they'll be showing The Great Debaters. And then also just outside of CB9 at Frederick Douglass Playground, not this weekend, but next weekend, our recreation division is going to have a full slate of programming. So on the 16th, they'll be having a family fun day from 12 to 3. That's on Saturday, May 16th. And then that following day, Sunday, May 17th, they're going to be having a free soccer festival for kids doing skills and drills and other activities from 11 to 2 at Frederick Douglass Playground. Also, we just wanted to let people know that Annabella Vilas Playground on 108th and between Amsterdam and Central Park West is now, Amsterdam and Columbus is now open. Go check out that playground. It's beautiful. And they'll be doing some programming later on this summer at those at Annabella Vilas as well. And then on Saturday, May 16th, Montefiore Square is going to be hosting volunteers from 10 to 12 to do some mulching and gardening in the park. So please go and join Friends of Montefiore Square 2 Saturdays from now. Those are all the updates I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any question?
Thank you, Matt.
And I really, first of all, let me say that it's good to see you. I really appreciate you. You've been very kind and very cooperative. And that does not go unnoticed. You've been really great through the years. I have one question, and it is my pet peeve, and forgive me, it is on me because life is life. And I haven't gotten over there at 133rd Street and St. Nicholas Avenue Playground. What's that update? What's the update on that? Tell me about what's going on.
So the update with 133rd Playground is we currently have funding to do renovations for that playground. So what the next steps will be with our agency is we will do a community input meeting where we will send out an invite to the community board and all of our contacts throughout CB9 and the adjacent community to give input in what they want to see renovated in that playground, what activities they want added, what features they want added. And then after that, our designers will go and put together a design. And then after they put together a design, then they'll come back to the community board and they'll share that design and ask for additional feedback and input. And then they'll modify the design from there if need be. And then that's when the project goes out to bid through contractors for the real exciting work to start, where shovels hit the ground and the construction actually starts. So,
Okay, so that's good. That's community board 10. We had an expected date of completion by fall of 2026. Can we still expect that now with all of what you just said? Because we did offer what we wanted in there. But if we wanted to add more, you're saying now's the time to do it, because we pretty much said what we wanted when we put.
So 133rd Playground, we just received the funding for this past year. So there was never a 2026 construction completion. So we can expect the construction. We're still probably at least a couple years away from construction actually starting because of having to go through the process of community input and design, and our in-house review. But the hardest part is getting the funding, which we now have. So that will renovate the park house, the barbecue areas, the basketball court, the handball courts, the entire playground. So it's going to look like a brand new site once we're done.
I understand, but Sean Abreu did give his discretionary funding, not talking about Department of Parks. We're talking about discretionary funding to just make it safe. And all we talked about was opening the bathrooms, fixing the swings, putting some kind of coverage on the ground so that these are for the toddlers. We're not talking about for the playground, because that's not what we were talking about. We're talking about repairs and making the fence higher so people cannot climb over at night, and making sure that that side of the gate stays locked. Very simple. I understand what you're saying for the whole part, but we just, Sean Abreu's, the money that we generated from Sean Abreu was only for the playground at 133rd Street. We also called in 3 daycares for the toddlers that go to that part, and we explained exactly what we wanted in there. Then we did a reso, and that is in that reso we requested this work be done, and also Community Board 10 put in one too. Would you look at it?
I am not aware of any discretionary funds that have been set aside for additional improvement. We have received capital funds from our local electeds. But we have made repairs from the several meetings ago when the Chloe Day Care Center came to us. We've made repairs to the gate. The gates are operable and lockable there. We're not able to raise the fence height. That's more of a capital. That's something that would be done through capital renovation. The bathrooms, as far as I'm aware, are functioning there. The site, if gets inspected weekly and would pass our standard specs for safety and overall condition.
Okay.
Patricia, I'll add that Councilman Abreu, Sean Abreu's, it's his district doesn't cover St. Nicholas. It's Morningside Park. So the funding we have for the 133rd Street Playground, so it's part of the Community Parks Initiative, which is it's from a mayoral fund. So what that means is that CPI is a citywide program, and it funds 10 sites each year, and St. Nicholas is part of that 10 site. The fiscal year 22, which will end in July of 2027, that means that we have to start the capital process within that time.
I understand that's capital funding, but Sean Abreu did in fact go into his own discretionary fund and give for that particular part, which he can do and has done. So I don't know how it works. You guys know how that works.
I think what might be useful at this point would be for us to get the resolutions in the past. Touch base with.
I'm gonna pull back the resolution and forward it to you, man.
Yeah, and then we'll also touch base with the councilman's office to see what discretionary funds, if any, were allocated for that purpose.
It's on the resume.
Okay, it's on the resume.
Okay,
So
that would be great if you can share that.
Okay.
And Tapashi, and then we can.
And St. Nicholas Park is under Yusuf Salam's district.
It's how the dog run got funded.
That's who's the one. I'm saying the wrong one. It's Yusuf Salam. The one.
Yeah, Yusuf Salam is the council member for St. Nicholas.
Yes. my error.
He did, so I'm not aware of any discretionary funds, but Yusuf did give money
I don't know,
towards the
I don't know
capital
what,
project.
I don't know if we saying discretionary funds in the same way that I'm saying. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but whatever that councilman's discretionary funds in his district, he gave that money to do repairs on that playground.
So Yusuf Salam did give towards the capital project. So it's a combination of a mayoral, borough president, and council member funding that completed funding for 133rd Street Playground.
Oh, so that has nothing to do with the capital. That's just discretion. Like,
No, that's the capital.
That is
The capital was made up of mayoral funding from Community Parks Initiative, some from Mark Levine when he was borough president of Manhattan, and then Yusuf Salam as the council member for St. Nicholas Park. Those are the three people.
that has nothing to do with the allotment that has been given. Because when you say capital funding, I'm saying when the budget went around and they had like some 100 and something millions that went through the Department of Parks in New York to New York City.
so
That's
that
not the capital
funding
funding we're
went
talking about.
went towards being able to do the capital funding to renovate the playground.
Yeah,
The money
the
is going
letters you wrote.
capital renovation.
The letters you wrote were in support of the 133rd Street Playground from the elected officials.
So
I'll send the reso and
let's review the
I'll vet
resolutions.
it
If there's
again.
any cause for follow-up, we certainly will.
I'll vet it again and see what I come up with.
Thank you, Matt. and
Thank
Ashi.
you.
Appreciate it. Last but not least, we've got Ewan from West Harlem Historic District. Ewan,
Online.
love to go.
And so for next month's meeting, I'll reach out to the people that weren't present.
Yep.
See if they want to stay on our list, encourage them to return, and then we'll take them off.
Absolutely. All right, so with that, we're gonna move on to our new segment. We're inspired to adopt from a sister committee, and that is community updates, which is closely related to the concept of getting announcements and updates from our partners, except this time around, it's clearly the co-chairs that we have any community updates that we know of. It could be a benefit to our community and anyone who's in attendance. So without further ado, I will hand over for Christina for also the two updates.
Thank you. So I'll give a small update. I went to the Jackie Robinson Day Festival. It was awesome. It was great getting to chat with our community members out there. And then one of the exciting things that happens, Community Board 9, Community Board 10, and Community Board 11 parks co-chairs are all next to each other. And Dr. Franklin from CB10, I believe, proposed that we schedule a joint quarterly meeting between all the parks committees. And so was just an idea that was born. So we're planning towards something like that, probably starting in the summertime. And then for next on community updates, one of the things that we wanted to propose for our committee was the opportunity to host an event or a workshop, forums, something of that kind. So if there's any ideas from anyone online or in the room, please do let us know now. One of the ones that I was curious about, since we have some parks people on the line, as you all know, I like to run, and there is a running activity called plogging, which is a mix of jogging and picking up trash. So I was curious about any opportunities there to support cleanup in our parks. Does this sound like an idea that's of interest? Or if not?
I mean, it sounds interesting. I don't know if there's a way that we could fold that into the New York Roadrunners program at Morningside Park. that's there every Saturday at 9 a.m. You know, we're happy to entertain it if there's a running group that wants to do so.
Yeah, I was thinking that with this excitement about the different Harlem community boards getting together too, maybe it's something that we could do to support the Harlem historic parks. So we could schedule a series that goes to different parks.
Yeah, maybe they meet up at you meet up at like the local community board office, and then you run to the other community board one of their parks, and
That would
vice
be-
versa. And then once you get to the park, maybe you help do a cleanup.
Is this something that we need like permission for, or should we be in touch with your office for anything?
You know, as long as it's like a a handful of people, under 20, I think it shouldn't be an issue. But if you need support like garbage bags and grabbers and things like that, then we should look to coordinate a little more closely.
Gotcha. And would you be the best person to reach out to for that?
That person, then make the names and names.
Yeah, you can reach out to me, and then either myself or Tapashi or some of our other coworkers will get everyone connected.
Perfect, thank you.
Very well. And folks, we really receptive to any suggestions as well now. So we're happy to take our last budget to work with it, but it's not gonna be one thing, we'll just clean out those months off and screw everybody else.
And usually what happens, they're really good when you ask, for instance, I've spoken to Matt about cleanup in a square in the area of Orchardville. It's very good about it. Also in the different neighborhoods and the people next to the names of the parks that you have. If you contact them and you wanna do cleanup, they usually have a good cleanup effort in these parks up there.
Yeah.
So you should, you really got the information that you need. And the community boards, you can go to this community board meetings that they have and just, but it's a great idea, don't get me wrong, but it's,
Yeah, we'll work on that.
but you've got the information.
But like Alex mentioned too, any ideas, we're feeling fresh and new in this committee, so anything that anyone wants to see happen, especially a forum that could be useful to the larger community, whether it's related to parks or landmarks. Yeah,
Yep.
we'll make time to discuss this.
What would be very nice, if I may offer a suggestion, is that in the green thumb areas where they have planting in the parks department, they plant, like between buildings, they plant, that you can get a donation of plants during this time of year, which is planting season, and to give to your neighborhood green thumb location, which is a benches or whatever in the middle where our seniors might sit, whatever. That would be absolutely great.
Like that idea.
Yeah, beautify the neighborhood.
Hello.
All right.
If- Hi, if I can speak as well.
Yeah, go ahead, Tapashi.
Okay. First I want to say I forgot to mention we're starting our jazz series, which is once a month in Morningside, St. Nicholas, and Jackie Robinson. Our date for Morningside is actually this Saturday, May 9th, from 5 to 6:30 on the lawn across from the waterfall. So come out, join us, and then you asked for suggestions on like ways to activate the park, and we actually had a meeting in that very same room you're sitting in this week regarding Morningside Park safety. And one of the items we talked about was potentially having some more events on the A lawn, which is closer to 113 and Morningside Drive, not the lawn across from the pond. It's you take the stairs up. So that will definitely bring some more foot traffic to the upper level. So I would recommend like a music type of event because it'll attract people to come to the space. It could be acoustics, like people playing music from their instrument. It doesn't need to be amplified. And then my second suggestion is a health fair at St. Nicholas Park in the James Baldwin lawn and plaza, mostly the plaza. This was actually something that Karen Asner from the Friends of St. Nicholas had proposed to me. And there are a lot of hospitals nearby, so we can definitely talk about how we would coordinate with them to bring them to the park.
Was there a date in mind that Karen proposed for that already?
Just we've been talking about it for the fall.
I know that there are a lot of houses of worship during the summertime that have many health fairs all over home. And they have street closures and they have health fair where they have bands and things outside in the street. So if you wanna like off the bat, like it would be nice to correspond, because everywhere you throw a rock, there's a church in Harlem. And you should coincide with that, because they've been doing it for more than 50 years. Okay?
I've got a rolling list of ideas.
Yeah.
Tapashi, something you mentioned is the perfect transition for our new business. I wasn't able, I think neither of us were able to go to that Morningside Park safety conversation. Do you have any other shares from there that would be relevant to bring up here?
So Marquise is there. I'll let him speak on it, and then if he's missed anything, I'll add to it.
Yes, so Tapashi, myself, Matt was there, NYPD, their parts, we had 7 representatives and we had elected officials all together to discuss the drug use that's currently happening around and in Morningside Park. So Friends of Morningside Park, which I'm a board member on, we came here to kind of present exactly pictures, to kind of show what's happening and what can we all do between the different groups for Morningside Park. And from Parks, Tapashi, and also, sorry, Matt, I was like trying to stall. Like we decided that maybe there was some type of way we can do a little bit more of just visibility in the area. So this is the top part, most of it, of Morningside Drive, as Tapashi was mentioning, not so much on the bottom. And what essentially happens is, because it's dark, it's low lit, there's a lot of people that go up. There's still a lot of like just trees and branches. Sometimes, just drug use happens.
Right.
So we're trying to partner with different organizations. So Mount Sinai, Columbia University, we have a letter from Cathedral as well. And then I cannot remember the last word, and then the church as well. So Cathedral, to kind of just figure out exactly what can we do. So we're gonna continue the conversation, but we're trying to go through each kind of like forum to start. So right now we were bringing it up to the community board. And then the goal is to chat with the elected officials, so we'll do something there, and then to keep talking amongst CB9, CB7, and CB10.
And what's that area you're talking about, Shirley?
So that is going to be from 110th to 123rd, so 110th is at the south side. And then we're saying Morningside Drive, 110th up to 123rd Street. And then also, that's mainly just that little L shape. That we're most concerned a little bit about. So 110th up to 123rd from Morningside Drive up to 123rd and Morningside Drive.
And that would also be a good subject matter to discuss if we do end up having the quarterly meetings. I know the CB7 as a part of the community boards that we're looking to sort of integrate into this quarterly review, but CB10 is. And so definitely just exchanging ideas, maybe CB11 might have something else that I have. Just to give ideas about this thing is among community members.
Yep, and the biggest concern is essentially just trying to make sure like we can all just work together.
Absolutely.
As a community inside of the park to alleviate the pressure just of what's happening.
For sure.
So it'll be conversations, and I'll continue to report here. I'll fill you in next month exactly what conversations we have in terms of the elected officials.
There's something that I guess you're approaching with speaking to the local electeds one-on-one, or is there a resolution?
So first part I'm gonna do, and I left a little slightly early, so Tapashi can tell me if something changed before I had to head out. But essentially we'll write a letter to the elected officials, kind of just like talking to them and posing and just like making them aware of what's gonna happen. And then from there, hopefully we can come back with a reso to the executive board meeting to present to them and tell them exactly what is going on. And then the whole entire part from that is to finally go to all the organizations that I mentioned. So Mount Sinai, St. John's Cathedral, and University. Including University.
So, all right, very good.
You know, I thought that was, interesting is that something that was just talking about, even though I don't understand it. The capital funding, but they were gonna be doing improvements along that line.
Yes, so capital funding is coming from Shauna Brady, which is $450,000 for the stairs that was just put inside of Washington's budget. So that is slightly different. That's capital funding for repairs to the park. This one is just sort of, I don't want to say an emergency, but just more or less bringing awareness to what is happening inside of the park as well.
And it sounds like Patricia, you may have conflated that funding from Sean Brea's office.
No, I just had districts mixed up there, who they get. Yeah, and so possibly with that whole capital funding of the New York City Parks Fund, can get some more lighting in there.
Well, that's one of the things that we said, and Matt did bring up this point that originally when Morningside Park was created, the lighting, you know, as much we've asked for lighting for, I don't even know, for I think 5 years now going on, just kind of see what's happening, as well as security cameras. But lighting in the park wasn't originally set up during the time when Homestead and Vox kind of put it, so we do know that lighting can be there, but that is something else that we can kind of bring up in terms of just other areas.
Yeah, LED lights and different.
Well, that's what we brought up as well, just park, like with NYPD as well, and just parts of how we can bring more light into the area. That was a piece of the conversation.
Yeah, there are plenty of cost-effective ways that we could, you know, pursue and sort of.
It's a matter of procuring.
But it's also during the daytime. So we're also, it's more when children are there or people walking, going over to the dog walk.
Right.
An area, so it's not just at nighttime,
Sure.
it's also during the day as well, because it's kind of like no one sees it. It's a part of the park that's pretty much hidden.
Which is where the cameras would be very handy. All right, okay, well, with that, next up, we've got new business. So, first item under new business to discuss is a review of the March 2026 and April 2026 LPC. Watches.
I think it was all.
I didn't see any violations,
For April, there are only two.
yeah, I remember. Those two violations was 7:30, same English
Sure.
on the back,
I think already so close.
on the HVAC.
That's on the HVAC.
And then the alterations on 7:30 for the facade of the fourth and fifth corner tower.
Correct. Facade, it's the fourth and fifth corner tower without permits.
Okay. And essentially, we just need someone to go and see those units, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then when do we need to see these by?
Ideally, before our next meeting, which is on June 3rd.
Are we looking to bring this to executive committee?
Yes.
So an executive committee.
I was supposed to look at that, wasn't I?
Let me see. Part of you volunteered.
I volunteered for something, I know, I just think it.
Well, actually, it's
Tell me again, I'll work on it. It's just,
so one thing that Gregory read up. For stock is on 450 west on 450. That was, that's what our whole business now, all this to about on the street.
and then 726.
Gregory was supposed to see the one, on 450 west, 149th Street.
Okay.
We can reach out to Gregory, see if that was done, if not. Patricia, if you've got time, that would be much appreciated.
Okay, I haven't, but I'm gonna try to get this 720,
Well,
St.
actually,
Nicholas Avenue.
the 450 west 149, but that's from last week, that's what you were asking about.
Yeah.
And
Four
that's-
fifty West 149th Street,
Yes.
and it's the facade. Oh, we have to check it out. Now, before we mention that, you said,
Just like that, Gregory was supposed to do that, so what we did was touch base with him to make sure that he did it. And he did, then.
that's my neighborhood, if I walk by,
Okay,
what are you looking for?
so it was also, there were also some issues with the facade, so just looking at the facade,
It's supposed, okay.
yeah, and reporting back of that, that's what we didn't hear back correctly, right, okay.
I didn't see any email, you said it was up, I
Yeah,
didn't see a reply, okay.
So we'll touch base with them, sometime,
Okay,
a few days, and then if we still get no answer, your.
And, I'll shoot you an email and let you know, just to,
Well,
cause I'm doing them.
and I very much appreciate that, but I just don't wanna put you to task and then make you do extra work if Freddie has in fact already done that. So
Okay.
I wanna be mindful of your time. What we do know, it was not, it's not yet, he's, facade on 730 St. Nicholas Avenue, so if you want something that you can commit to that, that would be great.
That was not 7:20, that's 7:30,
730, St. Nicholas Avenue,
not 7:20?
no,
I said
730,
7:30.
Okay, I wrote the wrong address, okay, 7:30,
and that's also a facade, that's a
facade,
facade
okay.
at the fourth and fifth. Floor corner tower. That apparently was worked on without permit, so you can inspect that and report back. That, you know. And then the other violation. Installation of HVAC units.
So it's the same address.
After, oh, so same address.
Have what units?
So it's HVAC units at the roof. At the roof of the premises that were installed. So if you could just inspect that visually and report back out.
Additional units?
HVAC.
What is the name? Child, not a.
Oh, it's AC, you're.
Like the big ace, the gray ones with the fans, like the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, issue, but can you see that from there? It doesn't say you can see it from there.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I mean, I don't think this call was gonna go to a building to go and see if they have
Yeah,
HVAC,
okay,
right?
yeah. Well,
I worked out.
if you can see visually, great.
If I can, I'm not gonna push.
Yeah, no,
Nah, I won't push,
No.
I'm just gonna.
no,
Yeah, okay.
no Inspector Gadget.
No, I don't.
Inspector.
How much too old is nothing I can do.
And we wouldn't have you, or.
Then, thank you, I appreciate that.
Question, what does it mean when it says certificate of no effect as the permit type? What does that mean? It says, several of the lines say certificate of no effect. What does that mean? Do we know?
According to this,
It looks like it's anything that's interior. What? Heather? I'm just saying, just like legacy.
So,
Heather, are you there?
Okay, so no, we'll move on.
so I have a question. Say that because on Sugar Hill, it's a historically preserved neighborhood. And if repairs are done on a certain building, per se, they must use a certain materials or the same materials to maintain the integrity of the facade. If that has not been done.
Yeah.
And say they took some red brick and just put some red brick up where it should not have been. What is the procedure that you do? What do you do after that?
Well, we issue a resolution, that voices a disapproval of that, and then we take to the executive board and ask what it takes from there. But the issue at hand here is that they commenced work on the facade without having a permit, so any type of work. Is gonna be the kind of work that would be inspected and worked.
So even like the DOB, they didn't get a permit.
Right.
Or most often they'll put scaffolding up for
Right.
years and do no work.
Well,
So that these are issues.
right, and what the violation sheet tends to indicate though is that, or what it does in fact indicate is that alterations to portions of the facade. were- So it's not the scaffolding, it's actual alterations that was changed. And so that's what we've been inspecting, we're trying to sense off even, on rooms.
So what as say you have located that and what would be the next step to that?
Well, we discussed that with the executive board, and see how we want to proceed with that. So we'll most likely issue a resolution with approval. And then we'll just escalate the issue.
So we would rather let resolution let it to LPC. Is that Heather, are you with me? At least not this one. That's good. That's to the LPC
Right.
and tell them that they're in violation.
Right.
Okay.
And Andrew, just to answer your question, so certificate of no effect. Just to do a little bit of a reading now, there appears to be a type of permit that's issued through Portico. When the proposed work requires the Department of Buildings permit. And so they're issued by LPC staff. Preservationists through Portico, and don't require a public hearing before the full commission or a presentation, I'm sorry, to the community board. So examples that are listed here by on MCB9 are interior renovations that require DOB permits. The installation of plumbing and heated equipment. Rooftop and mechanical equipment installations, other installations that are related to ramps and changes that staff determine do not adversely affect significant features of the building.
Yeah, so it seems that
It's just interior.
issues may exist on paper, but they don't have meaningful impact on lawful use, occupancy, or.
And listen, let me keep burning it.
That's why.
But yeah, but we're not-
That's why it takes forever to get anything done.
We're not,
Essentially,
from what I understood, right, or like for landmark preservation or something like that. What you do within your building or whatever you own, that's on your, you know, that's you. But what we're interested in is maintaining the landmark preservation of it. We want the general look to remain in a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's what we do speak on.
Yeah.
The rest of that. we don't.
Yep, that's the landmarks preservation portion of our LP. Very work company. Great, okay,
Okay,
next item.
Next item.
Quality of life concerns, that were addressed during the May 4th meeting, at Morningside Park.
That's what.
But
Mark.
that was already touched upon, so unless anybody has any further comments or wishes to add anything, I think we're done. So just.
other than that, and possibly they could get some new lighting from the department.
And cameras.
Yeah, the apartment parks, since I'm in between that 100 and that's L and 113 to 111, that the street lights L, so that maybe you can speak to within the community or the department, puts that uniforms and ask them to put a better patrol on that and set some cameras.
Great,
Yep.
yeah.
That's what we're doing, running the whole entire route of everything.
Okay, so, I'm glad to report though, is that is not the only item we purposely tackled. Next up, what we have, or what we would have had, and is old business, but we've already addressed both matters preemptively. One, during our announcements and updates, first, Gary assured us that he'll be, following up on the issue of signs, at Riverside Park.
That's what Shannon was speaking about.
That's what Shannon and Gary discussed.
Good.
So, that was already addressed, so unless anybody else wants to contribute or wish to, fund it. Well, then,
I make a motion, we adjourn this meeting.
one sec, let's do, just to ensure that all is addressed on this. Patricia, we're gonna get you out, an hour in, that is a record. That's a record.
This is the record.
We promise to let you out on time, and you're good with that. With half an hour to spare.
Okay, I'm loving you. I say, bless you, you don't understand.
So what would have been the next? I thank you for that. What would have been next up on the agenda, last but not least, would have been, input from Gregory with respect to, the facade on 450 West 149th Street. But what we said we do is that we would follow up with Gregory for the next few days. If we still do not hear back from Gregory, that is when, Ms. Calder will be hopefully generous enough of her time to be able to inspect. That's a second.
Yeah.
Address you, took to inspect, and then we could,
Walk over.
discuss that, during our next meeting.
And also at 7:30,
Yes,
St. Nicholas Avenue, St. Nick, and that's the facade.
correct.
And I'm not looking at the inside of any.
No. On the off chance that any of the HVACs are visible to the naked eye, you're more than welcome to report that. But if not, no worries at all, there's no expectation that we enter the building, we're asking.
That's right,
That's
okay.
not what we do.
Okay, unless I'm doing something within the neighborhood, which is likely.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
It could be like, that's it, are we covered everything?
So, with no comments, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting
Second.
to June 3rd, 2026. We've got a second from Ms. Caldwell, and it appears that we're all unanimous agreement. Yes.
Blessings, everyone, good night.
All right, go Knicks.
Impressive meeting, folks. Well done.
Good night.